sure we get it on thing first. YouTube. Okay. When you're ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Hello, I'm Johnny Cash, and you're listening to my buddy Jimmy Deal. Keep those tunes rocking, Jimmy.
Right, good.
Everyone, and welcome to the Jimmy Deal
and Geri Petito show.
We are here collaborating at Hamilton Radio.
Yes, we are. Excited about this.
This is so cool. So, how you doing, baby?
I'm doing fantastic. First time to be in this great studio. I love it.
So, I want to show everybody my beautiful gift from him. Look at this beautiful picture of Elvis. We're both Elvis fans, okay? We're both huge Elvis fans.
Yes, we are.
And we both have Elvis rooms, honey.
Yes, we do.
Okay? Thank you. Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm just back from Elvis Week at Graceland, so it was such a fun time. I was there for a couple of days, and it was so much fun. Lots of great Elvis fans. And everybody, all the Elvis fans are so great. They're all so friendly, You meet a lot of great people, and you become friends with them, and they go down every single year.
That's right.
You know.
So, I've been in Facebook jail for a few days, and you want to know why?
Why?
Elvis.
Really? Why?
Yeah. So all I can figure out is it's because I had all these posts for Elvis Week, and everyone decided to just constantly post all this Elvis stuff to my page. So I cannot post or even like anything in our Elvis pages right now.
Oh, wow.
They'll let me like what you type or what you write or your photos. I can't post.
Right.
But I could comment as long as it's not Elvis.
Wow, that's terrible.
That's crazy.
That's terrible. It's crazy for sure.
Okay. Is his mic okay? He sounds a little low. Okay.
Okay, yeah, there you go. I can hear myself now.
Okay, a little better.
Absolutely.
There you go. So, this is awesome. Okay, I love you, and I finally got to meet you. We were at the PNC.
Yes.
And I got to hug and meet this guy, and now we're here together in Hamilton Radio, and this is so cool.
So happy to be on the Geri Petito show.
And the Jimmy Deal show, baby.
There you go. We're colliding today.
So he's finally interviewing me, man. You believe it?
So how'd you get started in this business, Geri?
Well, this is crazy. Doc G, actually.
Uh-huh.
I wrote my book, guys. I'm not an addict. I'm just an ass. I'd rather be a smart ass than a dumbass. Because 32 years ago, I was a dumbass. Today, 32 years later, I'm a smart ass.
Good for you.
Yes. So I wrote my book in 2016, and I was asked to be interviewed by DJ Danny, Doc G's daughter.
Right.
And then Doc G said, you have a great voice for radio. Why don't you come along? And at first I said no, because I was never that person to be behind the mic. I talked a lot.
Right.
And then after, we had many conversations, I'm thinking, I was in trouble every day of my life for talking. Like, no, you don't understand. Every day, every report card. Mm-hmm. No one could shut me up. And I'm like, what, am I crazy? So that's when I started. How did you start?
I started DJing parties for my local Catholic school where I went to school, and I did the 8th grade dances and all the events around Brooklyn where they had the Knights of Columbus and the American Legion. So I started as a mobile DJ. And I liked so much talking about the music and being involved and speaking and getting the crowds going. I said, I really would like to do radio. So I went to school for it. I went to broadcasting school in New York City. And that's how it all started. And it was right out of school. I got a job up here in New Jersey at WNNJ in Newton, New Jersey, where I did Sunday mornings. And then moved up to WSUS up in Franklin, New Jersey. And I was there for like 5 years. And then I wound up at PLJ in New York City. And I worked for Robin Leach and Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Yeah.
Yeah, Robin Leach. Tell us about that a little.
Well, I sent a resume out of the blue because I was a big fan of the show. And I just, I said it would be so cool to work for Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. So I sent out a resume. I found out who was his assistant was Elaine Griffin was her name. So I sent Elaine a personal letter and a resume. 3 days later, I get a call from Elaine. She goes, we want to interview you. And I'm like, really? So there I am up in Robin Leach's office in New York City.
Yeah,
I get interviewed, and she's like, you get the job. It was like more like it started out like a paid internship, and I pretty much did everything that that he didn't want to do. I went to his doctors and lawyers and pretty much, did everything that he needed to do that he couldn't go out of the office
How
to do.
could you go to his doctor?
Well, I would just go to his doctor's office, drop off papers,
Oh, gotcha.
pick up this and pick up that, and go to some producers, drop off stuff,
Very
that he needed to drop off, and so stuff like that.
That is so cool. So how was he as a person?
He was great. He wasn't in the office all the time because, of course, he was out on location a lot of the time. But he was in New York, I'd say a couple times a month. And every time he was in New York, I was with him. And, I'd help him with his luggage. He'd come in with luggage and go up to the office. And at the end of the day, help him down to the limousine. He had a house in Connecticut. He also had an apartment in New York City. So I would be there for him to help him with whatever he needed, stuff that had to be mailed, all his personal needs. So I was like a personal assistant, and I did that for a while, but I wanted to be a broadcaster. So I wound up, sending my resume and audio stuff over to New York radio stations, and I wound up at WPLJ New York, which was awesome. And I started there in research. I did promotions, and eventually was assistant producer of the morning show with, I would think it was Gary Allen and Linda Energy, and then it was Rocky Allen, then Scott Shannon. So I worked with so many different morning show hosts. I did that for about 7 years, pretty much. As producer, I was with PLJ for about 13 years total. But
That's so cool.
yeah.
So let's bring on someone who started this radio station. Okay, everybody?
Yes.
So he's biting at the bits. We know he wants to come on out and hang out with Jimmy. Let's do this. Everybody, Doc G. Come on.
All right.
Fix the camera so we can see him a little better. We're going to need to see you a little better. There you go.
There you
Perfect,
go.
G. All right. Everybody, Doc G.
Hey, everybody.
Doc G, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Jimmy Deal.
Great to be here.
I'm glad. Number one, you two guys are getting along. I knew that when we met, when you met him at the thing. But Jimmy's an easy guy to know. He's just. I mean, him and I do a show, right? It's just so wonderful.